Alright, this is Andrew with Jonah Home Inspection. We're doing a sewer scope today here in Farmington. We have the camera pushed out 160 feet to the city connection. So it's a somewhat lengthy line. Average length of a sewer line that I see is around 100 feet. So this one's a little on the longer side. We are at 882 Oakridge Drive. Now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So this first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. And it looks like a good connection there. One of the main things that I'm looking for is that the line has proper grade, which you're going to see with this line. There's a few areas where the line is holding water. So moving water's fine. I was running water through the basement tub, and that helped push my camera out, but it also helped check for bellies. And unfortunately, this line has some spots where you'll see my camera go underwater, and that's a sign that it has bad grade. And the only way to fix bad grade is to dig it up and re-slope it. You can clean it so it's not quite so sticky. Right here, we're starting to go underwater, and this is not from something draining in the house. This is simply bad grade. There also wasn't a blockage on the other end of it. You know, in some cases you'll have something blocking the other end of it, but here there's nothing actually blocking it. In a lot of ways that would be much better because you'd be able to clean out roots or something and it would flow again, but here it's a belly in the line. This is PVC pipe, similar to what they use on most new construction. So, I mean, it is better than some of the older types of pipe that they would use, like clay or cast iron. Looks like a rock is pushing in on the line right there, which is not incredibly uncommon, but that's on the more excessive side. I mean, that's pushing in and encroaching in on the diameter of the pipe. Also, I mean, that could eventually cause the pipe to crack, where it would be very easy for roots to then grow through that spot. So not ideal, but doesn't seem to be causing an issue today. That looks like an access point, so probably buried out in the yard somewhere. You have another spot to access the line. So a little cast iron fitting here. Looks like they used that to transition between the PVC and ABS. A little bit of a high spot. That's a spot where waste could collect. You can see how it's holding water as a result of that high spot. But waste could get stuck on that lip and create a blockage where it backs up towards the house. Usually where it transitions to ABS is where it goes under the basement slab. And so it's possible that we're now under the basement slab. Yeah, you can see other lines feeding into the ABS. And this was another area where I found some standing water. I did push a lot of waste out, and so it'll be interesting to see if that allowed it to drain, and it was simply something stuck in the line, or whether it was bad grade. If there's no standing water as I pull it back, that means that it was a blockage that was causing it. but for something to get stuck, usually you have to have something for it to get stuck on, an offset or a root. A lot of bugs flying around, which is oftentimes a result of standing water in a line and waste. So here's some of it, not horrible. When I pushed my camera through before, I was, here it's starting to get worse, and this is where I'm starting to go underwater. I would recommend getting this hydro-jetted and then having it looked at again. And then you want to avoid putting excessive amounts of grease down the line, which can make this worse. I mean, there's certainly a lot of waste stuck in the line, but I can't tell whether the grade is also bad. That could just be that waste has built up over the years and it needs to be maintained now. But it could be that there's a belly through there. Hopefully, it's just waste that's built up over time, because if you have a belly under the basement slab, that's much more difficult to access, because you have to open up the concrete in the basement to get to it. I'm going to end this recording now.